Hi friends, and welcome to part 2 of our fall surf and turf special, or as we like to call it, my what big teeth you have. Yeah, we're headed up to see our good friends Eric and Sue Lund up at Esnagami Lodge, and joining me for a fall pike and bear hunting trip are pro staffer Ryan Hopkins and Dale and Brad Morgan from over at Morgan's Composting. We're going to go up there, we're all going to fish for pike, but Dale and Brad also are going to do a bear hunt. Now, if you didn't see last week's show, we caught some pretty nice pike to start out with, and as always, Ryan Hopkins caught far more than his fair share. Green.
Little bit of spit in him yet. Come here, buddy.
There you go. It's one of those fish that's built like a linebacker.
Yeah.
That thing is 4 feet thick through the middle. He's only 2 feet long.
Yeah, I know it.
He's like a square.
Rick's fed him one too many meals, I think.
That's what they look like when they get bulked up.
Yeah. I think we might be ready this time.
Come on, buddy.
That fish almost too big around to
Grab
get a hold of now. Ain't no lie.
Look at that. I think he's been feeding.
A little bit.
Yeah. Wow. He's got a big head, too.
He didn't miss the dinner bell much.
That is one nice fish, Ryan. Look at that. That thing's
great fish.
And after catching more than a few nice fish, we headed back to the lodge, changed into our camos, and hit the trees with Dale Morgan. And we hadn't been there an hour when the bears started showing up.
You got bit. You're supposed to bloody the bear, not yourself.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I did it. I'm happy with that one.
Some good fish already caught, a bear already tagged, and all I was really hoping for was a little more of the same. Hey, I'm your host, Kyle Randall. This is my Wilderness Journal, and we're headed out for my What Big Teeth You Have Part 2 right now. We got out to the first weed bed, and Ryan picked up right where he left off. And then he did it again, only this time.
What? What's this? I found one, Kyle.
You did not. You snagged.
Eggs don't pull down
maybe,
like that.
maybe. Hey, Ryan?
Yes, sir?
You're snag swimming.
I see that. Canada's moving on me.
Hold on to him.
Is that a decent fish, Ryan?
Oh, there he is.
That is a really nice fish.
My boat's for decent.
Yes. Decent with a big D on it.
Yeah, my boat's for decent.
Oh, look at that fish, Eric.
What a girthy. Oh, jeez. Beautiful.
That is a horse.
That's what we're looking for right there.
Wow.
All right, you want to try and put him in the boat?
I would
You think
like
he's
to.
ready? You scared yet? You gonna lose him?
I'm not scared. There's more to be caught, but yeah, I'd like to get my picture taken if you don't mind.
You know what, Ryan? You're a terrible liar.
I tried.
It sounded all manly and stuff.
I know.
You ready, Mr. Lund?
Yep, we're ready.
Mr. Esnagami?
As soon as you can kind of steer that fish around.
All right, head first this way, right on by. There it is. It's in there.
Oh, yeah. There is a big
Wow.
You the man.
That's pushing 40. That's
fish.
what I wanted.
Oh, yeah. Look
Is that what you come for?
That is what I came for.
All right, the ride is full.
Look at the girth on that one right there. That's a 20-pound plus pike.
That's my first one here, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Ben.
geeked right now.
All right, let's get this.
You do realize I want my spinner back now.
Okay. I got one of my own.
Yeah, go right ahead, take it. I got another. Now,
Jeez.
men,
Wow.
we are talking fish.
Incredible.
All right, Let's get a quick picture, all right?
Yep. Go ahead, put her back.
My friends, just in case you've never seen a big pike, that is exactly what one looks like.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Well-earned fish right there.
Thank you.
40 Esnagami 40.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to the club.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Friends, when you fish hard all week and you finally catch a monster of a fish like that, there really is only one thing left to do. Yeah, go catch up a bunch of walleye and head over to Shore Lunch. This segment of our program is here strictly as a public service. If you can watch this, if you can stare at that, and saliva doesn't start oozing from the corners of your mouth, quick, get to the doctor. After eating far too much walleye at a great shore lunch thanks to Eric and Steve, Brad and I had to motor back to the lodge, get into our camos, and head out to the stand. He still had an appointment with a big black bear. At least that's what was on his wish list, and you know me, I hate to disappoint people. We crawled up in our stands, and friends, believe me, it was hot. It was windy. The sweat was running down the back of your neck. And like every other bear hunt, every sound, every twig, every little crunch made you look. You never know when a bear's going to come in. They're so quiet, they can sneak right up on you. You look one way, look back, and there is a bear staring at you. The building wind made it impossible to hear anything, so all you could do is just keep looking. And remember what I said earlier about there? A young boar was working his way in toward the bait. From 20 yards we could hear him panting. He was just as hot or hotter than we were. We watched him work up to the bait and then noticed another even smaller boar working out behind him. We hadn't been on stand 20 minutes and we already had 2 bears out in front of us. The bigger of the 2 went right straight for the feed, but the smaller boar decided he wanted to give Brad a little closer look. I don't know if he thought we were just a big old goofy tree or a couple of other bears up there or what he thought, but he walked up to within 10 yards and gave us the once over twice. Satisfied, I guess, that Brad really didn't look that good to eat or was no threat or whatever, he made his way back over to the bait barrel. This was certainly too small a bear to be a shooter. The other bear wasn't bad, but it was the first half hour and we knew there were some really big bears at this site. For now, we'd just sit and watch. The smaller of the 2 bears kept working his way over to the brush and staring out as if he was seeing or hearing something. The bigger bear didn't really seem to care, but this little guy was obviously nervous. That told me there was probably an even bigger bear close by. Confident for the moment that everything was all right, the little guy started to settle in, and then he got back up and started walking back toward us. There was just something about Brad. Maybe it was his cologne, I don't know. But he came over to give us another look, and this time, instead of stopping at 10 yards, he came even closer. At no more than 5 yards from the base of our tree, he pulled up and stood there sniffing again, looking. And then, finally, he turned and went back to the bait can. And no sooner had he gotten there and started eating, and the bigger boar got up, and now he was going to come check us out. This was obviously an older, larger boar. Not a monster to be sure, but definitely big enough to be capable of inflicting some serious damage. And he didn't stop at 10 or even 5 yards. No, he came right up underneath the tree. You could clearly hear him sniffing and grunting, and Brad was taking it pretty good. Right up until the time the bear stood up and put his foot on his tree, and then reached over and grabbed the pull-up rope that was tied to Brad's stand and started jerking on it. This bear obviously wanted to play, and I guess Brad looked like something good to play with. Play with or eat, maybe. Actually, Brad was taking it just fine. This is pretty intense, though. When you're no more than 3 or 4 feet above the jaws of a 200-pound bear, and all you have in your hand is a pointy stick, well, let's just say it gives you a whole new perspective on where exactly you sit in the food chain. I will admit to thinking, while I sat there watching this bear licking his paws, maybe he's just washing his hands before dinner. And then he finally got up, ambled all the way around the tree, and headed back over to the bait barrel. Friends, that was worth the price of admission right there. And if you've never done that, if you've never been that close, believe me, you've been cheated. Friends, I don't know if you've ever had the personal pleasure of having a couple of 100-pound black bear trying to turn you and your stand into a meat yo-yo. But if you haven't, well, believe me when I tell you, it's pretty exciting. Watching these two up close was exciting, but we were still kind of waiting on something a little better. It was entertaining when one of them decided to walk over and sit down right in front of us, 5, 6, 7 yards, and pick up a bone and start crushing it. I sat there thinking, well, that kind of looks like a rib bone. And those jaws were making pretty short work of it. That's the funny thing about bears. Sometimes they look like a big old fluffy dog, and then sometimes you look at those claws and those teeth and they sort of look like bears. Both of the boars moved back over to the bait barrel, and they kind of fussed with it, rolled it around, tried to get a little more feed out of it, and then finally, for whatever reason, they decided they'd had enough. First, the smaller bear melted back into the brush, and then, after giving the barrel just 1 or 2 more swats trying to get that last little bit of whatever out of it, even the bigger boar decided it was time to go. We may not have seen Mr. Big yet, but friends, I gotta tell you, for a bear hunt, we'd already been treated to quite a show. We were enjoying some great action, a lot of action really early in the day, but Brad still hadn't seen the bear he'd come all this way for. All we could do was sit and hope something else would show up before it got too dark. I don't know if it was the wind or the thermocells we were using, but the skeeters actually were knocked down far enough we could take off our head masks, and no sooner had Brad rolled his up when he whispered, "There's a bear." What looked like another small boar was very tentatively picking its way in through the bear maze. You could tell this was a very subordinate animal, a small bear, probably just off the sow, and he was being more than a little cautious working his way in. This size bear, friends, is the size that a big old boar generally will kill and eat if he gets the chance. And while it was some amusing to watch this little guy refuse to walk around the barrel, choosing instead to slide over it, he would do well to remain cautious, because one of those bigger boars I spoke of, the kind that eat little boars like this to put on winter fat, there was at least one of those in this area. We had game camera pictures of it, and friends, believe me, there is no Yogi plays happily with boo-boo going on out here. The little guy nosed his way around the feed barrel some, and then he too came over to check out Brad, only this time, when he got up close enough to see who he was,
That's the way a young boar should act. That other bear that was in here is a big bear. He's just not a really big bear.
We were closing in on 7:30 and the wind was still building. I was fairly certain that by morning it'd be raining. What we really needed now was a...
Oops. Whoops. That's a big bear. That's our boy right there.
Can you feel it? That lump in Brad's throat? That little bit of sick in the pit of his stomach? To come all this way and to get that close to a bear that good, only to have it blow up before your very eyes? Yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes. It doesn't always work out perfect. Still, you know us. No quitting our outfit. It wasn't dark yet. We weren't done, not by a long shot. After 20 or 30 very tense minutes, I was sure I could see something moving down through the brush. He was back. Only this time he was hyper cautious. He sat there sniffing the wind, testing. He'd look and look. He just wouldn't commit. It was obviously the same bear. He just wouldn't come in just a little closer. That's all Brad needed. He wasn't 25 yards away, and I was fairly certain sooner or later. And then finally...
Nice job, buddy. You could stop clicking that safety off for me anytime, though. Remember the part where we went over, wait till he gets to the bait? I can hear him going down. That's it. He got holes in him. He can go nowhere. He's right there. Well, you want to go find a bear?
I think we need to go get a bear.
I think we got daylight to find him. We ought to go get it.
Yeah, and I'm feeling pretty confident that he's dead. So
Well,
I'll let you go first.
I'll go look for him, and then. Well, buddy, I don't think this one's gonna be hard to find at all.
I hope not. I feel really good about it. Here's zero. There's blood.
Oh yeah.
Full length.
Yep.
Like I had a good pass through.
Oh yeah. Well, this part is what I call the hunt after the hunt. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm pretty sure I heard him go down.
I think I did
could
too.
hear him. But
I think I did too.
trust me, it'll still be interesting.
You do realize this will be the first time I went after bear. So yes.
Well, you can go first if you want to. This is where he went. I saw him this far. Oh yeah, all sorts of it right there.
Awesome.
You sure you don't want to go
I
first?
think you're doing just
Okay.
if I'm going to try to outrun you.
Oh, look at that birch tree.
Oh yeah, good.
He didn't go far. It's good to... Oh, hey, there's a big black thing, Mr. Brad.
Holy moly.
Look at that. Oh, he's kind of laid up, though. Watch him for a minute.
And you want me to wait till he eats you?
Yeah, let me go just make real sure.
You,
Bradley, this is a big bear.
yes?
Buddy, you got a bear.
Awesome.
Holy.
Awesome.
Oh, my.
Oh, look at that.
You got a big bear,
We
buddy.
got a bear.
That's what they look like when they grow up, man.
Oh my God.
He's all done. See if you can roll that beast over.
Oh my God.
You think we got to get some help, huh? Congratulations,
Whoa.
Mr. Morgan.
I think
You the bear man.
that was a bear.
All right. We're going to have to go get help. We'll go get the satellite phone.
What a hunt. We had to fight him off with a stick.
Well, I promised you a bear hunt.
You did.
We wasn't out here looking for squirrels.
No, what a bear.
You happy with that?
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Look at the size of that sucker.
Huh? Now that is a whole lot of bear, buddy. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you,
Excellent job, buddy. That, friends, is precisely how you snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Congratulations, Mr. Brad Morgan. What a tremendous bear and an amazing hunt. I truly appreciate you letting me go along on it. And hey, while I'm handing out congratulations, I want to congratulate my good buddy and pro staffer Ryan Hopkins. Bud, welcome to the Over 40 Club. We had such a great trip, folks. There was no way any of us would ever forget this. Great fish, great bears, and all shared with some great friends. Thanks so much to all of you guys, certainly Eric and Sue Lund, Steve, everybody up at Esnagami Lodge for making this possible. I truly enjoyed it, and I gotta tell you, if this is something that interests you, if you'd like to go up there and set your hooks on one of those big old toothy pike, or maybe some of the big walleye or trout they have up at Esnagami Lodge, or maybe a bear hunt up close and personal is what gets your heart pounding, well, you get a hold of Eric, and he's going to take you out and show you the same great time and the same great opportunity he showed us. And remember, friends, if you do get up there, we have a special name for the kind of day that nets you a 40-inch pike, 4 pounds of shore lunch walleye, and a 400-pound black bear. We call that Tuesday on My Wilderness Journal. Thanks again, Eric, Sue, everybody up at Esnagami Lodge for a great hunt. The Wilderness Journal is underwritten by